Okay, oh, there we go. Guys, we are back for series number 2. It's going to be the first series of week 13. It's going to be pretty sick. It's going to be Net Wars versus pSi. And now, just for the benefit of me being able to post this on Twitter because I forgot to record it, let's have a look at the team rankings again. Now, the reason why I stayed silent was to just record that, but there are 6 teams currently on 6 wins and 6 losses. Net Wars are one of them. If they can win this match today, they will be heading up to 7-6, which should give them a chance of making it into the playoffs. Overall, their win percentage in terms of game difference isn't actually that great, but they are like at the higher end of the 6-6 teams, because if you're wondering why, even though they're all on 6-6, they are ranked 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 is 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10 as well. It's because it takes game difference into account. So the numbers in the far right, that's the game difference. You can see that Soul Gaming have won 38 games more than they've lost. Valhalla have won 22, White Clan have won 16. And then things get really tight. You've got IRK with 8, Naz with 7. Net Wars have lost 1 more game than they've won. Then we've got Clan Rev who have lost 4 more than they've won. So that's why game difference comes into it, because essentially match wins aren't all there are. Now let's have a look at today's matchup. Well, this is going to be our first series, or our second series, but our first series of week 12. pSi Storm, pretty good team. They've not had too much success in the STPL though. They played in 4 rounds last season, and they've played in this season as well, but they've only won 1 of their 12 games. It is unfortunate for them. pSi Storm are the Bulgarian team, but essentially, I mean, pSi Storm are a good team. They've had some really, really close series, but they just seem to get beaten to the punch at the end of the day. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but given the fact they are the Bulgarian national team, it kind of limits their player base. They can only get as many players as they can get. So Net Wars, however, yeah, they are the Polish national team as well, but when you look at Poland, they have so many good Brood War players that it's unreal. Like, everyone on Net Wars is pretty good. Like, it's very rare to see someone who's actually bad on Net Wars, just because there's a big scene in Poland, as far as I'm aware. There's been a lot of like local tournaments in Poland for a long time. I mean, BSL for the first, I think, 4 or 5, it was entirely local. Like, it was just a local thing that Zero hosted on LAN, and people outside of Poland didn't really know about it. But yeah, Poland, like, the way I view Poland is essentially I call it the Korea of Europe. You have Peru, which is the Korea of South America, and then obviously you have Poland as the Korea of Europe, because they're their own kind of scene. They've got their own amazing sets of players, and there's a lot of stuff that goes in those scenes that non-Koreans, non-Polish people, non-Peruvians, we just don't know about it. Like, Peru apparently has tons of local tournaments, so it's kind of cool. But let's have a look at the players we're going to be seeing. We're going to start with the TVT between Marine and Kogut. Marine, a pretty good Terran player, but Marine kind of handicaps himself a little bit because he plays all 3 races and he plays all 9 matchups. So compared to everybody else, Marine has probably got the hardest job playing this game. Like, yes, you have race pickers, but no one does it on the scale of Marine, I'm fairly certain. Like, obviously you have players like Eriador who random and stuff like that, but they can't random in tournaments, so they usually just do, like, Eriador, for example, does ZVT, ZVP, and PvZ. Marine, he'll play ZVZ, he'll play PvP, he'll play TVT. I'm fairly certain he's actually played one of every single matchup. Like, it's insane. I don't understand how he does it. Like, he plays every single matchup, every single race. But going up against Kogut's going to be tough. We're going to have a PvT between Michael and Ziggy. We're going to have a ZVZ between Praise and Kingpin. Unfortunately, Mr. Zero swapping out for Kingpin here. And then we're going to have a ZVP between Mitak and Yeti. And just to go back before we introduce the players, Avi, I was genuinely thinking about putting Sparkle in this season. And then I've got to remember that I'm also doing a full-time job, so if I put Sparkle in the map pool, there could be like 50-minute to an hour-long games. and we were going to have 7 best of 5s each week. So True Touch has left Net Wars. True Touch is actually on IRK now, so that's kind of crazy. But games on Sparkle are usually very long, and the cast times for me are already quite rough. Like, I start casting at 8 PM. Some days I won't even finish until after 12, and then I have to wake up at like 7 in the morning. So the only reason why I haven't put Sparkle in is purely because of that reason. But in the side events, it's surely gonna take up appearance, because even though I put in maps that I think are gonna lead to longer games, sometimes you still get ridiculously short games. So not sure how that's gonna go, but let's have a look at our players. Starting us off here, pSi is gonna be Marine. He's only got a 24% win rate, but as I said, he's the only player, and I can't cast any earlier. I'll explain this in a second, but Marine hasn't had the best luck, but he always goes up against really strong opponents. His opponent going to be Koga, rank 3 in the STPL overall, won 9 of his last 10 games. He's 10 for 1 over Protoss. He's got an 82% win rate. He's the highest ranked non-Korean in the STPL overall. And genuinely, I don't know how else we can put this, because that's it. An Avi thing, I should win the lottery and quit my job. I'd love to quit my job, but it's difficult. If you guys want to help support me quitting my job, there's like a Patreon goal that you can follow. I just want to actually, just before I forget, a huge thank you to Liquipedia for sponsoring the STPL for $500, and also Matrina for giving us $200 worth of codes, which, by the way, guys, aren't used. There's still codes left. Use them. I'm going to put in this donate link. Click that link, the Matrino link, and put in the code LSTPL, add 50 cents to the prize pool without paying a single penny. You can literally log in with so many different accounts. If you have like multiple accounts, you can log in with all of them, use the code, and you'll add, like, if you got 5 accounts, you're adding $250 to the prize pool completely free, courtesy of Matrino. So do it. Do it. I'm going to keep pushing it over and over again until you all do. So let's have a look at the map we're going to be heading into for game number 1. It's going to be Neo Arkanoid. The maps have switched up because we've gone into week 13 now. Neo Arkanoid, surprisingly, one of the most balanced maps in the entire map pool. We haven't had a ridiculous number of any mirror matchup. I mean, this is going to be the 8th TBT, but overall that doesn't really matter too much. It's not like Desperado, I think, we've had 18 PvPs. Like, this is a genuinely good map. People joked, people laughed and said Neo Arkanoid's trash. You know what? We've had some of the best games I have ever seen from the foreign scene on this map, and I'm looking forward to seeing a TBT here as well. Let's get in to game number 1. It's Marine versus Koga. Okay, starting us off here in the top right hand corner. Seeing on any other map he'd play Protoss, but he doesn't want to play PvT on this map again. It's going to be, in the top right it's Koga fighting from Poland for Net Wars. It's Koga. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right hand corner in the red, fighting as our Red Terran from Bulgaria. It's Marine fighting for pSi. Now, I think based on the average game duration, this should be a relatively quick TBT. Koga is currently on an 8 win streak against Terran. He's got the all-time highest top streak and the all-time current top streak, or the current top streak against Terran. His TBT is ridiculously good. The only player he seems to struggle against in STPL terms that he's played is Terra, and he struggled against him in the Corrupted Cup as well, so... And the average TBT duration on this map is only 15 minutes, so there should be a fairly quick TBT compared to Blitz X, which usually goes on a little bit longer. Now we have got players spawning in close by... I neglect to say close by air positions, but they are close by air essentially. They're close vertically, they're not cross map. So it's going to be a little bit harder to go and split the map. Now Kogat's going to go for a 13 CC. That's an interesting choice. I don't think I've seen that before. I guess you do get the CC a little bit earlier, but I'd definitely say going for the SUVs better. Maybe I'm wrong. We have Marine going for gas, so he's going to be doing a little bit of a tech build here. And now Kogat's doing one of the best things you could do on this map as Terran. Essentially, it's maybe better to expand up in the top left. But what you do is you build your command center off base, you build a barracks, you build a Marine, and you kill the Chrysalis, and then you just move the command center. So, there we go. Meta, do you know why Kogat has actually chosen not to play in BSL? Or is it just because he doesn't have time to ladder? That is a very fair point. He does have... Kogat has 2 children now, right? Which is kind of crazy. Outside of Korea, is Kogat the player with the most children? Like, actively, I think? Like, in the, like, high end of the foreign scene. Because I know Boneth has just had a baby. Like, this year, or last year, I guess it was. I think... Ah, no, Artosis. I think Artosis has 3 kids. So he's beaten Kogat. His parent micro is a little bit better. I guess that would be parent macro, wouldn't it? Yeah, parent macro from Artosis to get 4 kids, whereas Kogat's gone for the micro 2. Artosis isn't technically outside of Korea, that is very true. But maybe they should have like a parent show match. Pit their kids up against each other and see who wins. Now we've got Marine going for a double factory into a starport. He is going to look to play this incredibly aggressively. Whereas Kogat looking to expand very quickly as well. He is going to go into his own factory, going to add a second factory on below this most likely. Or is he going to go straight in starport? He should go factory first, I think. There we go, it is going to be a second factory. So, despite the fact that Marine didn't expand, his factories aren't that much further ahead of his opponent. He did manage to get a couple of vultures out, which is good, obviously, but realistically, I'd give the edge to Kogat in this game. Like, this is going to be Marine forced to do damage. Now, Kogat, unfortunately, blocked his SCVs from mining. This is so frustrating when this happens, but he did a good job. Pulled his SCVs back, getting them back to mining where pressing C. Kogat going for an armory as well. Now, the reason why this drop was a little bit late is he's actually going for a Goliath drop. Now, Goliath drop is very strong. They kill vultures very quickly. They kill other Goliaths very quickly. And they kill SCVs obscenely quickly. So, the Goliath's definitely the best choice against Terran. Obviously, 3 vultures, 1 shot on SCV. But they also die very quickly. So, it's kind of like a balancing act between how much damage you want to do and how much damage you can realistically take. Now, Goliaths obviously fare a little bit better against Wraiths as well. I don't think Goliaths kill SCVs faster than Vultures, but where Goliaths are more hardy, obviously SCVs can actually kill Vultures, so Goliaths they struggle a little bit more against, and any unit that your opponent has is likely going to do well against the Vultures as well. So that's why I'd say Goliaths are a little bit better at killing SCVs overall. But looks like we are going to have the drop coming into the natural. Luckily enough for him, he scouted his opponent second. He scouted the bottom left, but it is going to be Goliath versus Goliath. Needs to pick up these Goliaths, definitely. But you can see the micro pretty good here from Marine. Oh, he loses a Goliath to a... Oh, he's lost 2 Goliaths so far. No, he's lost 1. He's going to lose another one, though. The Goliath's not doing too much damage. Kogat's still up. 10 workers. There's a bunker coming in here, losing 3 of the Goliaths now. The dropship is going to be forced to go away. But obviously, Marine does have the benefit of now being able to expand to 2 bases at once, if he so chooses to. He's not expanded down here just yet, whereas Kogat is going to save up for his 3rd base as well. So, looks like Kogat definitely with the advantage in this game. If Marine can keep up his worker count after this, it's not necessarily the biggest deal in the world. Like in TBT, yes, worker count is important, but if you're not that far behind, it's not the biggest deal in the world. It's not like in a ZVZ where if you're behind 3 workers, you're essentially, like, if you're behind 3 workers in, oh my goodness, no. Oh, that was close. Luckily, Wazay moved on to the temple there, but in TVZ, you're behind 3 workers, suddenly you're like, you essentially may as well just leave the game, you're so far behind. Like, it's ridiculous. But TVT's not like that. The dropship going down, though, is a big, big problem. Look how quickly those vultures die. Goliath count by Kogut looking very, very healthy, taking a 20 supply advantage over his opponent. And XE, that's because that wasn't a good drop. But definitely things going well for Kogut. Marine getting a little bit outclassed so far in this TVT, but I think it was more a build order advantage, because when you go for a Goliath drop, it actually delays you for so long that your opponent who went 14cc can get his own units, and that's the problem. That's why Vultures, especially early on, maybe a little bit better. But, I mean, look at Kogut. He's going to push through the center of the map. He's got a ton of units now. Marine has traded away essentially all the units he had. And I think this is it. Like, I don't know how Marine is going to be able to hold on to this eventual push. Obviously, it is going to take a while to get to him. So he still does have time, but he's down in factories. He is starting to go into some tanks, but I don't think he has siege mode just yet. He still has the ability of going for dropships, but with a bunker in the natural, it's going to be hard to do any damage there. Now, the one bonus he has is if he can get a dropship and drop in the pizza wedge, because if he drops in the pizza wedges around the map, it makes it very difficult for the Terran player to push through this gap, for instance. But as I said, I don't think he has siege mode. Yeah, he doesn't. So this tank's going to come out. He could drop it over there, but it's not going to help him. Kogut, meanwhile, I think he does already have siege. The proof will be in the pudding in a second when he pushes through this temple. Now, Marine doesn't know about this either. Oh, yes, he does. He should be able to hear this. Yeah, the thing is, he did skip siege mode for a very long time, just because he wanted to get those Goliaths. He wanted to get the dropships out, and that's a lot of gas early on. Now, Kogut landing his barracks in his opponent's natural here, going to be able to not take it down the Marine of Marine, ironically. We've got a double tank back here at home. How is the target firing going to be? One of the dropships very, very low. Now the Goliath's pushing forward, going to help out, but just imagine if he had the 4 or 5 Goliaths he's lost from drops already. Marine would have no problem holding that, but now he does. GG, Marine can't hold on. Kogut wins game number 1. Now that was a fairly cut and dry game for our Polish Terran player. I mean, I thought it would be, based on the caliber of both of the players. Marine is a good player, but I mean, Kogut's on another level to a lot of Terran players outside of Korea right now, so not really surprising, but Kogut getting a good win. They definitely need that win as well, as we're going to get into game number 2 when we get back after this very short break. See you guys soon. Toss a coin to your content creators, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your content creators, a friend of humanity. Okay guys, welcome. Oops, to actually go to the right screen, and I'm not on the right screen yet. Here we go. We're back. We're here for game number 2 of Net Wars versus pSi. Starting us off here for pSi is going to be Michael. Michael streams a lot on Twitch on his channel MichaelBG, I think it is. And Vincent, that's really mean. You don't need to say I can't sing. I didn't sing that badly. I've had people say my my singing in that clip wasn't too bad. I sound kind of like the guy, right? But Michael, a pretty good Protoss player, not super high level or anything, but he has won one of his 3 games, and the other 2 games he played against Dragon and Dark, which are pretty strong players. So not too much to be said there. His opponent going to be Ziggy for Net Wars. Ziggy, 41% win rate. He is a caster as well as a player, and not only does he play StarCraft 1, he plays StarCraft 2 as well, and he also writes for Team Liquid, and he also does a ton of other stuff as well. He's the captain of Net Wars in STPL at the very least, and overall he is a very, very good player to watch. Should be a lot of fun to see him here as we get into map number 2. It's finally the return of Carthage 3. Really awesome. Ziggy isn't British, just to let you know. But Carthage 3, a 2-player map. Been a little bit imbalanced in TVZ, but this is going to be a TVP, so it's been equally balanced here. So looking forward to seeing this one. As we get into game number 2, it's Michael versus Ziggy. Oh, you mean I'm British, I understand. Wait, you're British as well? There's other British people? Oh my goodness. I know pSi Crow is British, but other than that, I wasn't sure about anyone else. Cadenzi as well, obviously, but... Starting us off over here in the top left-hand position, we do have, in the pink, fighting for Net Wars from Poland, it's Ziggy. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner in the orange. It's going to be Michael from Bulgaria fighting for pSi. To just go off topic slightly here, and I know this is a bad idea, but like my prime minister, in air quotes, because he's not my prime minister whatsoever, yeah, he signed the withdrawal agreement to take us out of the EU today on the 31st of January, and the ironic thing is, the super rich are going to get richer, the slightly rich who think Europe is stealing all their money are going to lose everything, and the majority of us are going to struggle, so... Please think of us if you're in Europe or the US, and think about how much my country decided to fuck itself over. Excuse my language. I'm very politically heated, and Brexit is the worst mistake my country has ever made. Not the most diabolical thing we've ever done, but politically, it's the worst decision we've ever made. Like, it genuinely is. Meta, it's 100% going to be that bad. We're not going to be able to get enough medicine. It's been proven. Economists have, like, essentially studied everything. They know our economy is going to be screwed. The super rich aren't going to lose a lot because they've all bet in the pound failing. They've put their money elsewhere. So they're going to get more money from the fact that the pound is going to fail. And yeah, they own houses elsewhere, so they'll just leave. Thing is, it does sound exaggerated, but people need to remember why exactly it's so bad. Our economy for the last like 60 years has been entirely revolved around importing stuff from Europe and exporting to Europe. Like, without European trade, without free trade, we are in so much trouble. And yeah, the super rich don't want the EU tax laws, which is why they spend so much money tricking the working class in the UK for voting against Europe. Iraq War we didn't necessarily vote for. I mean, our government did, but our people didn't. Like, our people didn't vote for Iraq. And we got pulled into that by the US, so... Yeah, the great trade deals. Can't wait to trade with people that aren't trading with Europe, which is pretty much everybody. The old Commonwealth economy-wise is pointless. It doesn't mean anything. Like, trading with Australia takes forever, and Australia doesn't produce anything that we need, and we don't produce anything Australia needs. And Jaguar, didn't they shut down their plant in the UK recently and move it to Hong Kong? Like, it's not good. But going back to this game, sorry, I know sometimes I go a little bit off topic. But we got 2 fact coming in from Ziggy again. Why build 1 fact when 2 does trick? To do a play on the Karate Kid reference, but... Europe should be united in the way it's trying to unite right now. We should get, if the eventual goal should be removing all borders in the European Union and just being one big super state. And that wouldn't be a problem. That'd be amazing. That's how the whole world is going to have to operate eventually. Because eventually it's going to be the entire state of Earth. Like, if we don't manage to destroy ourselves before it, we're going to go and colonize other planets. And have it, like, if we're going to colonize another planet, why on earth would we have borders on planet Earth? We would essentially, to be able to colonize other planets, the entire of the world needs to join together to do it. And Dabadeem, if you don't want to hear about me talking about politics, please feel free to not watch the STPL today. I am a very politically active person. I am very opinionated when it comes to politics as well. And while I respect, you don't necessarily want to tune in. Muted, okay. Well, that's fine. Okay, back to the game. Ziggy's 2 factors starting to come into effect now. I'm not answering my front door. My stepbrother has his keys, so he can let himself in. But the trouble is, my stepbrother's turned up way earlier than he said he would, so this is going to be interesting. I'm going to be trying to cast with people behind me. But, I mean, Michael's in trouble here. Definitely not looking great. 2 fact against 1 gateway is not really where you want to be. He does have a 2nd gateway finally, but not in a perfect position. Robo is coming up, but he's not going to have Reavers anytime soon. There's no expansion coming up anytime soon for Ziggy either. He is going to be building turrets, most likely going to send a couple of SCVs to help build turrets at the front as well. And the turrets kind of help against any possible DTs. My stepbrother is not hot, and that is a really weird thing to ask me. But mine's going down on a lot of Dragoons here. Definitely not a position you want to be in. Although I don't think that was him, because he does have keys, so... we'll have to see. I did tell him to message me. But looks like this game is pretty much sewn up. Like, Vulture's in the main, gonna be killing a ton of probes. There's nowhere to run for the probes here if they're a Protoss player. And I think that's pretty much it. Mormons at 10 PM. Okay, we don't have Mormons in the UK. Kicks fanfiction. Oh my goodness, I don't want to think about that. But looks like the tank's getting in the main. All the probes are dying. 20 SCVs to 3 probes. GG. Michael taps out. And now we'll take game number 2. Okay, so I'm going to have to go for a very quick break just to see what's going on, if that was actually my stepbrother or someone else. I don't think anyone else would have been coming here at 10 PM, so I'll be back in a minute. Gonna throw it over to a break, and I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Outstanding. Rock and roll.
Okay, we have a ton of Matrino codes still to use, so I'm making this quick video to show you how easy it is to actually use them. So you click the Matrino link, it brings up the Matrino page. In the top right, you hit sign in. You sign in with whatever you want to. In this case, I'm going to sign in with Twitch. That'll take you back to the page, and then if you hit contribute, you put in the coupon code LSTPL. You can put a comment if you want to, and you can hit contribute right there, and it'll add it to the prize pool. Easy as pie. STPL does. Bio TVP. Wow! You got it. STPL does. Mass Scouts? No problem. Broadcast 3 nights a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2100 CEST. Fantastic casting, fantastic production, fantastic prizes. Only here on the STPL. Did you know REAVERS could be this radical? How did these lings even get here? All I know is that's one dead base. STPL does. Wraiths, Valkyries, Carriers, and Corsairs. Forget about it. You won't see that anywhere else. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. DT's doing game-ending damage? Name a more iconic duo. We've even got carriers in PvZ. How amazing! A global team league on the scale you've never seen before. Don't see this in BWCL. STPL does. All that and more. Only on this amazing 64-bit STPL. What BWCL don't. Impressed? I know I am. Why not support us on the link below? Patreon.com/. Okay guys, welcome back. We're going to be heading into game number 3 between... Whoa, I've not even loaded up the replay yet. Sorry, game number 3 between NetWars and pSi. It's going to be Praise for pSi. Now, Praise isn't the strongest player overall, but essentially he comes across some very, very good opponents. I think this game for him is going to be a little bit more close. I mean, look at who he played against recently. He played Eonzerg, Avi, Dreamer, Bonith, Cubic, Castle, Favorite. And a lot of those games are actually quite old. So in the last 2 games, his only 2 games in Season 2. Wait, no, I'm blind, I'm really dumb. He's been playing in Season 2 since September. Wait, did Season 2 start in September? Is that... Did I start that long ago? Wait, that would be... That'd be 1, 2... I guess we're in our 3rd month, which isn't too bad. I did say it lasts about 15 weeks. So that's 3 months. Wait, no. Yeah, it'll be about 4 months by the time we're done. That makes sense. Well, let's have a look at his opponent. It's going to be Kingpin. Now, Kingpin with a 36% win rate overall. Kingpin, not the best win rate either, but a lot of the times he does come in to sub in for someone else. Now, has Kingpin really not played in Season 2 once? That's crazy. There we have it. So Kingpin not played since March last year in the STPL. I guess someone subbed him in, or maybe he got a walkover or something. That's really weird. But either way, let's introduce our next map. It's going to be the one, the only Desperado. It is going to be a ZVZ, so I think this game is going to be relatively quick. Usually ZVZ is, and especially on this map, it is incredibly quick. So the one difference with this map compared to others is in ZVZ you can actually get 2 gas relatively easily. So we should see a lot of Mutas, we should see a lot of Scourge, and we should see a relatively good CVZ as we get into game number 3. It's Praise versus Kingpin. Whoops, press the wrong button. Kingpin isn't Julia. Okay, starting us off in the top right-hand position in the lime green. This is Praise fighting for pSi from Bulgaria. And his opponent in this wonderful hot pink down here in the bottom left-hand corner, fighting for Net Wars from Poland. It's Kingpin. Kingpin saying fun map, or funny map, okay. He's really struggling to type. Funny map. Funny app. Fun map. Apparently, Julia has an ID called Kinslayer, which Vincent got him mixed up with. By the way, speaking of foreign Zergs, I don't know if you guys know, but Zeke started playing again. It's kind of weird. I missed the period where he was dominating everyone, because essentially I stopped playing Brood War in 2012, and I played like a year or two of StarCraft 2. And then when I came back, I was only really watching the Korean scene and playing. Like, I wasn't really following the foreign scene whatsoever. But when I started casting with Sale, I started watching Sale's casts a bit. I started hosting tournaments as well. I learned a lot more about the foreign scene. And by that point, like, I was casting foreign games in like 2015, but not really many people played in them. And by 2017, like, the top 4 were like DeWalt, Bonith, Eon Zerg, and True Touch by far. Like, Zeke had already stopped by that point, so I don't really know just how dominant he is, but from what I understand, he's pretty dominant. Now, in terms of what's going on in this CVZ, we had a gas first into a pool from Praise, whereas Kingpin has gone for a, I believe that was a 9 pool, and he's gone up to 12 drones, and he's going into an extractor. Lair coming in first here from... Wow, he actually gets Lair and gas at Lair and speed at pretty much the same time. Kingpin is obviously going to be a ways away from getting his speed and Lair, because he's only just started mining gas. Now, he is trying to expand. Now, on this map, realistically, expanding in CVZ is actually kind of pointless. Like, there's...
Keep it up.
Zero reason to have this base. Thank you
Use
so much.
$5 to buy a free pass, and I want raid your village when I come in my long boats.
I like how it paused there. Thanks, man, for the $5 donation, man. I'm buying a free pass, so when you... and like pause for dramatic tension at the end there. It's like, so when you raid my village, when the long boats come on in. I don't know what exactly the pass is for, but it's because I call him the Viking Terran, and Vikings obviously have longboats, so... I don't know if you guys have seen this. I know we're in the middle of a ZVZ, and I'm very, very sorry to both of these players, but I need to link this. Look at what Medinho made today. It's amazing. I love it. I love it so much. He posted it on the STPL Discord. If you're not on the STPL Discord, join it. It's a fun place. Yeah, his long boats are pretty powerful. Okay, now we are going to have a lot of links coming in here from Praise. He did get speed a long time before Kingpin did. His lair is done. His spire is almost finished. Kingpin hasn't started his spire. He's going to pull all of his drones. Oh, this isn't good, but the drone's doing a lot of damage on the top of the ramp. Only one of them going down so far. 2 of them going down. This has evened up the drone count, but obviously this is a lot of lost mining time. Another 2 drones going down. Praise is doing ridiculous damage right now. And that's not good for Kingpin. Kingpin still does have a supply advantage. He does have a hatchery advantage, so he will be able to produce enough lings to go for a counter. But as long as Praise gets his muteless ready in time, he's going for his own second hatchery. Praise could be getting a win here on the board for pSi, but it's going to be difficult. He sees the LINGS from his opponent. Ling speed. Looks like it's done. But not 100% sure on that. Spire almost finished. Now the real story is the 3 muteless hatching here. A creep colony coming up as well. He's going to go for Sunken. Now Kingpin actually went for an extra gas. And Kingpin has gone up to 13 drones now. He's up a 5 drone advantage. Praise spent a lot of drones on, I mean, this Sunken, the hatchery, the Spire. And Kingpin's been droning a lot here, so the muteless not going to do too much, although there is... Okay, going for 6 Scourge, definitely the move he needs to make. The muteless are going to be able to take down a good number of drones here before anything comes into position to be able to do anything about them. 3 drones going down, a lot of lost mining time again. Is he getting another one? Yes, he does. Is he going to even up the drone count? Yes, he does. The Scourge! All 6 of them go on a single muter. Oh my goodness. That is so unfortunate. That's 6 or 3 lava. Scourge coming in. Oh. Okay, well that was incredibly lucky. 1 and 1. But I think that's GG. Wait, Praise doesn't... Yeah, Praise doesn't know about the other base yet. He should know now, though. But he's going to fly in. He's going to find the drones again. Kingpin is going to run out of economy here. And Praise... Oh, nice connections, though. And it is going to be 1 and 1, but one of the muters is incredibly damaged and one isn't. Now, Praise is probably wondering why he's still in this game. But little does he know, his opponent has another base that he hasn't seen. There's a lot of LINGS coming in for a counter. There's not actually that much to defend back here. But Praise cleverly recognizing this is coming, adding on a lot of LINGS himself. This single muteless essentially... oh my goodness, he's essentially like completely undeterred. Now, there is another hatchery. It's going to be focused down by Praise. No, he wants to push forward. Maybe if he can get in and get the Spire in the spawning pool, he can make something happen. But unfortunately, with these LINGS blocking off the Sunken going to be doing so much damage. 3 muteless in the main. 1 drone remains. He cannot build another one until he mines a lot of minerals. So this is pretty much game over. Praise kills, Kingpin kills all the LINGS, but can't kill Praise. And GG, Kingpin taps out, and pSi take their first win in the series over Kingpin. Yeah, essentially that game went from bad to worse there from Kingpin. He did defend early on very, very nicely, but as soon as those mutas flew in and the 6 Scourge all connected with a single muteless, that was game over. There wasn't really much he could do. Now let's go straight into game 3, or game 4 even. Just because we have that power, Praise is going to be happy with that win though. I'm happy for Praise as well. So let's have a look at our players. The next player is going to be the one, the only Mitak. It's Minor Mitak over here with his pickaxe, getting ready to pickaxe his way through his opponent. And yeah, throw up some praise for Praise, guys. Praise, I think if I remember correctly, means like cow in Bulgarian. But yeah, so Mitak doing pretty well. He doesn't have a big high win rate either, but honestly he goes against some really strong players, so nothing too much to say about that. He's 3 for 7 against Protoss, but Yeti on the other hand, I've still got to fix his picture. I'm very sorry, Yeti. Let's just pretend that picture of Yeti isn't there. I wonder if I do this, if it hides it. No, it doesn't. Okay, well, let's just pretend that that's actually the Polish Yeti and not the Russian Yeti in the photo. He did send me a photo, and I haven't swapped it yet. But he's won 7 of his last 10 games. He's 8 for 2 against Zerg. Yeti is an absolute boss. He's playing with a wrist injury though, so does need to be careful. But regardless, he is a very strong Protoss player. He just doesn't look like that. He looks different. So just pretend you don't see that picture. And we'll load up the next replay. So let's have a look at our 4th map. It could very well be the final map. It's match point for Net Wars still. But if Mitak can win this game, we'll be heading into an ace match. It'd be really exciting given how close everything is already. But let's have a look here at our 4th map. It's going to be New Outlier. That is still the Russian one, yes. He sent me a picture and I forgot to change it. My bad. But Neo Outlier, really fun map for PvT. Protoss have actually had a massive advantage here so far, winning 5 additional games over Zerg. But a very fun map. The games on this map are very dynamic, lots of back and forth. If you don't actually know, this is one of the last professional Kesper developed maps of Brood War. One of the other ones was Chain Reaction. They were both made for the final season of Pro League. And genuinely, they are both incredibly good maps. I think like in the Sonic era, although I guess we shouldn't really say his name anymore, in the ASL era, we've definitely had some good maps developed. But this was the last like professional era map. So let's get into game number 4. It's Mitak versus Yeti, and it's going to be here on Neo Outlier. Okay, starting us off in the bottom left-hand position, fighting from Bulgaria. It's going to be Mitak as the Peach player fighting for pSi. Wait, is there no pSi cheer? Really? Whoops. I thought I put one. You know what? While this final game's going on, because they're not going to be making it into the playoffs regardless, let's see if I can quickly set up a cheer so people can give them some cheering. Because pSi, I know they haven't had the best results throughout the season, both in Season 1 and 2. They are still incredibly good. They're an incredibly good team. They're incredibly friendly. They're very well organized, and they always show up to play their games. So, no problems whatsoever. Hopefully they come back for Season 3, but I'm not sure what their plans are just yet. So, while I'm just quickly setting up a pSi thing, I'm just keeping an eye on what's going on. Looks like Mitak going to go for a 9 pool. Looks like we're going to have a Forge Fast Expand coming in from Yeti. Now, that doesn't surprise me, as I did mention. Yeti is suffering from a wrist injury. So, essentially, you don't want to be really putting too much pressure on your wrist with a lot of Zealot Micro if you've got problems. Now let's see if I've got the pSi logo in here. I don't. So just for now, I'm going to pick a random picture, and that's going to be the pSi one. I'll fix it afterwards. Make it black. We'll do create. There we go. So we should have a pSi cheer now. And yeah, everyone in STPL is a decent team. Obviously, some teams do worse than others, but that's just the nature of a tournament. You know what? pSi, they come out every week, as I say. Grast is an incredibly good team captain, helped along by Marine as well. Every single week he gets his... he gets everything in on time. He gets a good lineup every week. They have very dedicated players who, despite... I mean, when you look at Prey's last game... He's lost a ton of games over the last 2 seasons, but you know what? He plays every week anyway, because at the end of the day, he goes out, he does his best. He may not win every game, but no one's going to win every game. It's not possible. And yeah, Grast has been around forever as far as I'm aware. So, Nexus coming in here for Yeti. I do wonder if Yeti's going to go Citadel first, or if he's going to go for Corsairs. Now, Miner Mitak doing a pretty good job mining so far. He's got 10 drones. Should be looking to up that soon, but he's only actually got 3 supply and lings. Now, that is 6 lings, in case you don't know, guys, but that's some basic maths for you for the day. Now, as I mentioned, this could very well be the last game of the night, depending on if Mitak can win this. The third base coming in here from Mitak over in the top left-hand corner. There's a couple of places you can expand to. Mitak could have expanded here, but the very fact he's gone for the other main makes me think he wants to play a little bit of a longer game. He's obviously not expanding towards his opponent or anything crazy. So it's likely he's just going to build up his wall at the front, go into 5 to 6 hatcheries, and play this out with Hydralisks. But I don't think we're going to see a 3-hatch all in from here. I mean, taking a base up here is miles away, so... Arctel saying that apparently he had a fight with Cold in the round of 4 of Chobo League. Cold is one of Psi's other mainstays, and it was like really back and forth, which is kind of cool. So, Hooty saying there should be a 2v2 match like the Titanas Del Ring, Nation Wars, and BWCL. I like 2v2, but I don't think it has a place in a team league like this. Thing is, like, I would prefer, like, if it was best of 7s, I would think about putting a 2v2 in. But essentially, I think in a best of 5 situation, it should be 4 1v1s and a best of 1 ace as well. But 2v2 has its place in Brood War. Eventually, I plan to host like a 2v2 tournament, but I don't really know enough about it. Oh, Mitak coming in with a lot of Lings. If he can break Yeti here, this could be a very, very quick game. But a lot of Lings going down to the cannons. The final Lings not going to attempt to make their way in, but there is how many Lings in this main base right now? There's 7 of them. Probe's getting an immediate kill. There is a cannon in the main, so he did sniff this out. I didn't think it was going to be a Ling all in here, but Mitak surprising me. He's still only on 11 drones, so... this is a do or die situation, essentially. The longer this game goes on, the further ahead Yeti's going to be. Now, is he going to be able to break through? There's a 4th cannon coming in. There is only a couple of zealots. Wait, there's only 1 zealot here. Where's the other one? Where is the other zealot? I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, he's going to get the Stargate. This is actually a pretty big deal. If he can get the Stargate and transition into a lair, this could be incredible. Now, the Zealot coming back home, unable to stop this. Now, can he stop the first Corsair coming out? Looks like he's not going to be able to, but it's so unbelievably close. But here we go. The Zealot's away. The Zerglings will play. They're going to jump on top of the cannons. Could this be a crazy win here, or is Yeti's Probe's going to be able to hold on? Zealot's coming in from behind. Let's see if he's able to break through. Yeti up 17 workers on his opponent. And those 17 workers are coming into play here very, very nicely. They hold against the initial set of Lings. All the cannons go down though, but there's now 3 Zealots. The 4th Zealot coming in. And the Corsair is about to finish. And when that Corsair gets over to the opponent's base, there is absolutely nothing. That Corsair is nothing to shoot the Corsair, so all the Overlords are going to die, and with that, I think Yeti may have held on even. Got my tenses wrong. This was a sick Ling all in, but it was an even sicker hold because the Lings can no longer get in. There's 3 cannons up here, 3 Zealots, should be enough to block this off. And unfortunately, Mitak, I mean, he's building more and more Lings, but there's only a max number of Lings you're able to go for. Now, that Corsair finished. Yeah, there we go. It's going to attack the thing here. Nice try by Mitak. Very, very nice try. Trying to catch his opponent off guard on this map. I mean, he still does have... he has minerals to go Lings forever, essentially. He could just keep going Lings over and over again. But the trouble is, he's about to get supply blocked. He still doesn't have any gas. He's trying to transition. When I say trying to transition, he's trying to add a few more drones on. But here we go. He's going to try and break in again. The Zealots at the front holding strong. Looks like Mitak going to try and break down the wall, but not going to be able to. No, the Zealots at the top go down. But there's just so many cannons. The Lings are not able to stand up to this. But yeah, Proxy Hatch and Sunkens would have been good here. But the trouble is, you just can't afford a hatchery. So... okay, so what's going on? Let's take count of where we are in this game. Templar Archives coming in for Yeti. Mitak has actually lost a drone somewhere to build a building. He's had to go into an Evo chamber. because he essentially cannot afford to go for anything else. And as Shad says in chat, that's definitely a weird expo planning to go a Ling all in. As I mentioned before, like, going for this base up here is essentially the base you want to go for if you're planning to go for, like, a really late game play, because you block the opponent from getting the other gas in the main and the natural, and that's so good in a late game situation. But he is going to try and transition. He's adding more drones, but he is supply blocked. There is only a single spore colony in the entire game right now. That is the only unit in the entire game that Mitak has that shoots up. So the Overlords struggling to hide down here in the bottom. You can see Yeti is searching around everywhere for them, because he knows if he keeps killing Overlords, it's game over. His army is going to get bigger and bigger. He's going to be able to hit a big +1 timing attack with Zealots most likely and DTs. Additional 2 gateways coming in. Zealot leg speed about to finish as well, and Storm is on the way also. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but yeah, unfortunately Vincent cast the BWCL, but I don't know if they ever actually get exported anywhere. So the VODs on Twitch get deleted after a while. It's really, really unfortunate. I don't know why they do it. But GG, Mitak taps out. He sees the DT run past the spore, and there's nothing he can do. And that's going to be the win for NetWars. So nicely done by them. Great games played by all of NetWars. Yeti with a really clutch defense to possibly defend his team's place in the playoffs. So really, really nicely done by him again. I can just keep saying that over and over again. Yeti has definitely been a hero for NetWars throughout the STPL. My shoulder's starting to get a little stiff, so I'm kind of glad that the series is over so I can go stretch my arms. But let's have a look at the results. Then we'll look back at the team rankings overall, and we can see how things stand at the beginning of week 13. So NetWars definitely doing well in this series. Kogut taking out Marine, Ziggy taking out Michael, Praise taking out Kingpin to keep the hope alive, but Mitak, unfortunately, his all-in didn't work. Yet he holds on, and he holds on to NetWars' position in the playoffs, because if we have a look at the team rankings once we reload everything, let's throw this over a second, just so I can make sure. I'm just going to double check it definitely added everything fine. Yes, it did. So let's reload the overlay. Let's head into the team rankings, and let's see where NetWars sit and how that affects things. Turtle saying my shoulders are stiff from carrying the Brood War scene. I'm certainly not carrying the Brood War scene. I'll admit I cast a lot, but if it wasn't for you guys, the viewers, you guys, the players, you guys, the tournament, or the team organizers, there wouldn't be a team league. I wouldn't have a team league to cast. Zero has been putting a lot of work in, carrying the solo league as well. There's obviously some weekly cups as well, so it's all good. I'm definitely not carrying it alone. We are all carrying the Brood War scene together, and that's really cool. And Turtle, I'm happy you say I've come a long way since DRTL, because the funny thing is in terms of casting, yes I have, but in terms of playing, I probably haven't. Playing, I'm probably worse. Oh my god. But either way, let's have a look at how that changes things. NetWars being the first team to play and win in this series. Secure 5th place currently. If IRK lose, they would have to lose 0-4 to go beneath NetWars. So IRK are safe in 4th for the time being. But Naz are hot on their heels. If Naz get a good win, they will take 4th. They will take 5th as well. And everything is still so unbelievably close. So you will not want to miss the games next week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we'll finish off the group stage for STPL Season 2. And then we'll get ready for the playoffs. It's going to be explosive. Lots and lots of games still to come. Yeah, the Bulgarian team are here. They are in last place, but they've actually had a lot of ace matches. And they've come very, very close in a lot of their games. So a little bit unfortunate. Nice Clan, they're pretty much folded. So Nice Clan will not be back in Season 3. Just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek at how Season 3 is looking so far. In terms of the teams that have confirmed, we're going to have Rev back, we're going to have Naz, we're going to have Soul, we're going to have Valhalla team, we're going to have White Clan, we're going to have IRK, we're going to have Red, we're going to have Ash, And tentatively, we're going to have Bull, but I need to speak to the Bull captain about that because they have caused me a few problems this season. And I want their absolute guarantee that things will get better the next season, because if they don't, that will be me cutting ties with them. And I don't want to. They're a really good team. They're really, really good players to watch. So as long as they're better organized, they'll be back in Season 3 as well. So once again, a massive thank you to all of you for tuning in. All of you for following. All of you for cheering with the channel points to let the teams know that you love them. It's all well and good. NetWars doing pretty well as well. NetWars hasn't confirmed yet, but we'll have to see what happens with them. Ziggy is talking to the players and everything. They can't decide straight away. Obviously, without Bodith and True Touch, it makes things a little bit more difficult for them. But that's going to be me for signing off for the weekend. Have a very good morning, afternoon, and evening wherever you are. Once again, a massive thank you to our sponsors, Liquipedia and Matcherino. If you want to help the STPL yourself monetarily, if you can support on Patreon, support me, or if you want to support the Season 2 map pool directly, you can donate on Matcherino itself. Season 3, we may have another sponsor lined up. I'm not going to announce that just yet. We'll wait until I have everything ready, and then we'll say it, but it should be kind of cool. I'm looking forward to it. Got to sort out a few other things as well. But see you guys next time. Have a good weekend, and see you on Monday for some more STPL action. Ciao.